Hi there. Are you getting enough exercise? How much is enough exercise? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the minimum physical activity guidelines with particular reference to people between the ages of 50 and 65. So let's start with cardio. We all know, don't we, that we have to look after the health of our heart. And you might also think of this as aerobic exercise. So there's loads of ways to exercise to strengthen your heart. We've got walking, running, or jogging, swimming, dancing even. Lots of different ways, but how much should you be doing and at what sort of intensity? Well, the guidelines recommend that you should be getting 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity or 75 minutes per week of vigorous intensity. So what's the difference between the two? Well, moderate intensity, you might be walking fast, you feel a little bit out of breath, but you could still hold a conversation with somebody. Vigorous intensity, you're pushing yourself that much harder. Something like running quite fast or skipping. Skipping's a great one for getting your heart rate up, and you would find it very difficult to hold a conversation with somebody. Now, you don't have to do one or the other. You can mix and match a little bit of both. But really, you should be hitting those targets. And remember, these are only the minimum guidelines. So how many people do you think actually hit that target? People between the ages of 50 and 65. Well, the answer is that it's round about 70%. So 70% just hitting the minimum and 30% not getting to that basic level at all. So next up we have strength training. Now you might refer to this as resistance training or weightlifting. So this is where you're working your muscles, you're challenging them and building up strength in the muscles. So you might be lifting weights, heavy objects, or you might have your body in such a position that when you do certain movements, you're working against gravity. So you don't actually always have to have weights for resistance training. The guidelines say that you should be doing a minimum of 2 strength training sessions per week, and that in those sessions, you should be working multiple muscle groups through a full range of motion. So this is where it gets a little bit difficult for people. Aerobic exercise is quite easy to do, but when it comes to strength training, resistance work, it's a little bit harder to know exactly what to do, and also to make sure that you are working multiple muscles, that you're not neglecting any part of your body, that you're doing a full body workout. So this is where people need a little bit of guidance. How many people do you think, specifically within that 50 to 65 year age group, how many do you think are hitting that target of 2 strength training sessions per week? And this is the really disheartening thing. It's only round about 20%. And the worst thing about that is that this age group, 50 to 65, these are the people that actually will get the most benefit from strength training, because at that age, you're losing muscle mass. You've already lost a lot of muscle mass if you haven't been training your whole life, and also bone health, particularly for women, but for both sexes. The strength of your bones, we need to maintain bone density, and that's what strength training does for you. So this is why at the Hidden Gym, yes, I do cardio, flexibility and mobility, but I put a huge emphasis on strength training because it is the neglected aspect of fitness, and let's get everybody strength training. It doesn't have to be scary. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to be lifting heavy weights. So those are the minimum physical activity guidelines for cardio and strength training. Now, maybe you're already there, that you're hitting those targets already. And if you are, well done you, that's fantastic. You will be reaping the rewards from that. But maybe you're not there yet, or you've not even started. That's fine. You don't have to launch yourself full pelt into the whole thing. You can start small. So maybe you start with just a 10-minute walk every day. Maybe you add in 1 or 2 strength exercises. Start small. Small steps lead to big changes, and over time you'll get there. You'll find that not only are you hitting those minimum guidelines, but you're exceeding them. So get moving today. Thanks for listening.